Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Welcome back to our program. I was saying earlier that we cannot take the concept of al-bay' lightly by simply giving focus to al-bay' as a contract, that the contract of al-bay' must be valid, and for that to be valid, it must be free from the prohibition, from riba, from gharar, from maisir, from transaction involving prohibited commodity, because the conception of al-bay' is so holistic and so dynamic, that it warrants us to provide a rigorous overview of what it actually implies in financing and in the economy. So, if you look at the three category or the three main attribute or characteristic or dimension of al-bay' over here. Number one, it is a real sector contract. Number two, in al-bay' there is a risk-taking activity where capital is put at risk. Capital is used to purchase the asset intended for sale, and the price of this asset in the marketplace is unknown, and therefore the price is subjected to market forces, and there is no guarantee that the sale can secure a profit, and it can also bring about a loss. So in al-bay' the risk-taking dimension is very, very critical. At the same time, I was saying earlier that al-bay' is a real sector contract where we are dealing with production, the conversion of input into output that can contribute to the GDP, the production of goods and services in the economy. Number three, al-bay' can also be seen as an entrepreneurial activity because in entrepreneurship we see the mobilization of factor of production by the entrepreneur, and if the entrepreneur is involved in production and sale, then the entrepreneur will be mobilizing capital, labor, raw material in order to undertake the transaction. And of course here further the description of real sector contract. These are the traditional contract of through sale, operating lease, mudarabah, musyarakah, sale by order, that is salam and istisna, and all of these real sector contract are made for economic production, and it is able to create employment and value creation, and therefore this is how we should be able to see the dynamicity of al-bay' as prescribed by the Quran. And we also see that the risk-taking behavior is one of the fundamental factor driving al-bay' or sale, where in sale capital is put at risk. As a trader, the merchant will use his own capital to purchase the asset that he intends to sell, and as we see earlier that the outcome of the sale is unknown, as sales are all determined by the market forces, and but due to the fact that the merchant sells the goods that he owns, and therefore he or she faces ownership risk or business risk. It means that the capital investment is allowed to increase or to decrease by virtue of the profit or losses accounted by the merchant or trader. And finally, we talk about entrepreneurship. So it is about mobilization of resources to generate profit from sale. And entrepreneurs are the people who are, they are the one who mobilize resources in order to prepare them for production, and these resources are capital, labor, and raw material. And this is something that is common in wholesale and retail and also in production. So therefore, we cannot afford to take the concept of sale lightly. Albay is not just about contract or contract validation that we saw, being forwarded and being put into central agenda in any Sharia meeting. Albay, of course, albay must be valid. It must be free from riba, gharar, maisir, and the involvement of prohibited commodity. But we should go beyond that and to ensure that people see that albay is dynamic, because it's dynamic in the sense that it is real sector production, it is a risk-taking activity, it is entrepreneurship. Thus, it should be funded by the investment account. And it should not be funded by deposit fund. Deposit funds are not suitable to fund albay, and therefore my take is that we should not be delaying to promote the use of investment account. Discuss this further, inshallah. Please don't forget to comment and to share and to subscribe. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.